So what did you just say? You do it in a triangle?
So the first thing is the cover-up is kind of in a triangle like this. The way it fills in the crease under your eye just doesn't bring more attention to it. It just kind of makes it even out for the rest of your face.
Okay.
I use a sponge and I change it every couple months. These are like $1 at the art store or something. And then you just kind of blot it in, go around the cheeks.
You go all the way up to the very eyelash line?
Yep.
Okay, what's this?
Okay, so this is my foundation. I try to remember that less is more in the beginning because sometimes I put too much.
Uses True Match.
And then either one of these shades, depending on like the day or how much I've been in the sun.
It's not focusing.
Do you want to do it on mine? So the first place that I put it is right here on my cheeks, on both sides. And then one place that, for me, I notice when I do my makeup, if I don't put it right here, it kind of, you can notice it later when I'm like walking around outside. Right here. And then I just start the blotting process. So this takes a little while of just kind of going like this.
All over chin and under the chin.
Yep, so when you pull the hairline back and you want to do it like a little bit. And then make sure when you wash off your makeup, you get that there too, otherwise I'll get a little breakout. So, the reason that I'm doing this technique is because you're essentially pushing it into your pores, which makes them look smaller and not as noticeable. And the places that I have the most pores are right here, so that's why another reason I start right here is to really just be able to concentrate on getting it pushed in.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. So something that you might notice, I don't know if the lighting shows this, but you might be able to see, is it's a little bit lighter than what you're looking at on the rest of mine, and that is actually intentional for me.
Okay.
For some reason, I feel like that kind of just gives me a good even canvas to work with, and then the powder that I use is a little bit darker, so I feel like it creates the perfect match without it looking too cakey. Okay. That's another thing about patting this in like that, is it helps your face not look cakey at all. Because if you notice on some people, you look and you're like, oh, that this should help that not be a problem. So the next thing you're going to do is be organized and get your contour brush out. So I'll show you in a second when you get the powder as well. Sorry. So this is the contour brush, has sort of an angle like this and kind of goes up like that. It's really important to not mix up your contour brush and your blush brush, because that sometimes will just create like a messy look. So that's why a lot of people in videos you'll see will have several brushes. So just kind of bring it around like this, and then I make the fish face, and then what I'm going to do is be drawing it on the line, so like right. And don't bring it too far, too close to your mouth. So you want to go on one side, and then you do the other. One thing that you'll notice when you're doing your makeup is it'll probably be easier for you to do one side of your face as opposed to the other, and you always will feel like that side looks better in a way, but you don't have to worry about that, people won't notice. So then you'll take a brush. Ideally, you've seen those big fat brushes, those are really nice for like blending and putting on the final powder. Unfortunately, I don't have mine today. So what you're going to do is go like bring it up to blend this in right into your hairline. Same thing on this side. Just smooth it all the way up. And then you want to do your blush. So I just take another brush about the same size. This one or this one, both of these are good sizes depending on how much, this one has a little bit more of a tight line to it because it's more pushed in like this, and this one's more of like a more brush, I guess is you know what I'm saying, like a more fan look. Anyway, this is e.l.f. I really like most of their stuff. It's very like cheap, I guess, but not in a bad way. Like their stuff works really well. Sometimes I kind of use a mix of these three. Sometimes I'll use this one for contouring. And then I just bring it right above where this is, so right in this area right here. Just gonna bring it in like this. Same thing on this side. There we go. And sometimes it looks a little bit darker before I put that final coat over everything, and that's okay. Another thing that you can do if you feel like, oh, this is too bright, is again, take that blending brush you have and do the same thing that you did with the contouring, just a few strokes. Last step of your foundation is a powder. This is important. I think of it as a way to just kind of set everything and give it that final look, and it also kind of get rid of any oil. I know that my face gets a lot of oil, so I just get a little bit on here, and then just bring it in. Make sure with your powder that you do a little, because remember during the day you usually move your head around, and that's when people will notice, oh hey. Even across your eyelids is fine. So I have this like lip pencil that's pretty much the same color as my lips, and if you can look on my upper lip, you can see where the foundation has come down a little bit, and I just kind of use this to like bring a little color back in. Doesn't make like a huge difference, but I also will put lip gloss on, but that's like my last thing. Just kind of do that to even it back out. So then, next thing I'm going to want to do is put some sort of something to get your eyeshadow to stick the best. So the things that you can do for that, you can get an actual primer, but those can be expensive. Chapstick works really well, and then also anti-chafing cream. Either of those work really well. I like to use chapstick. I should put that out. But even foundation works for that too, depending on when you put it on. There we go. So I just do like a swipe, and then I take my finger to just kind of spread that a whole lot. You don't need a ton, otherwise it'll be hard to put the eyeshadow on. And that's just something you'll kind of learn about how much for your eyelid and what kind of eyeshadow you're doing. And I give that a minute to just kind of set. And I do my eyebrows, take a really thin, tight brush. And then for me, I do a little bit of a mixture between a black and a brown powder. On you, I just did the black. But I just take a little bit, and then starting right underneath, I just draw like a line right here. And then kind of underneath my eyebrow a little bit, and then I just, holding the brush a little bit diagonal angle, I just put it in there. Now, I don't know if you can see in this mirror, it just makes a very subtle difference, but it's one of those things that I just feel like really brings it, pops things out. I feel like that's the biggest thing with makeup. I feel like you almost like paint everything and then make everything pop back out. The next thing you're gonna do, I always start out with this light one and then, so this brush, it's a little bit different than this other one. I have one bigger. Those. Okay, I just bring it down and then across my eyelid. For regular, I just go about up to here. Get my base on either side. It's a little bit thicker than that tight one, but has that kind of same angled look. And I take whatever color I want to do as like my second one. I'm going to do this one right here. And then I put it almost in a C shape right here around the corner. And what you kind of want to do is when your eye is open, you want to see a little bit of that darker color right in this area. This part can take a little while. Sometimes I'll mix a few of these to get the right shade, or, you know, whatever I'm feeling like for the day. Kind of bringing it in this crease area, and then just kind of, if you can see just above when you open your eye. And the thing with eyeshadow is it kind of feels like you're putting a lot on, but at the same time, because it's such a thin powder, it takes a little bit. My eyeliner. This is hands down my favorite eyeliner. The Super Slim.
Hold on. Oh, come on. It's because of the lighting.
Infallible. I can always send you pictures too.
It's not coming. It's okay.
It's coming at, this is getting towards the end of it. The reason I like this so much is just the shape of this makes it so easy for me to apply. And we'll just push it right here. And it gives me that really nice like end look that I like. And I start right here and just...
Do you start from the inside corner of your eye, or do you leave a little space?
I use the tip of this to just kind of like get it just barely, and then it gets a little thicker as it goes out.
I see.
fill that in, and at the very last part I just go up a little bit, not very far today. It's kind of more of an everyday look to just kind of finish it out. Last but certainly not least is mascara. I start out with the purple full volume one. I take it out, and then if there's any on this end here, I just get it off at the edge so it's not in the way. And then this is a really important, when you start on, you're going to want to vibrate it back and forth really quick to coat all your lashes like this. And then I kind of blink to bring them up, and then kind of fan them out. And then I do one little bit on the bottom, but not a lot, because I don't like the way that looks. Don't worry if you get a little bit. The best thing to do is use a Q-tip on that. I give it a little bit to dry and it comes right off. And I think if you can look, mascara makes a really, really big difference between your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And same thing on this side.